Hey guys, it's your favorite bearded bros, Bo and Q Lewis, and this is the season finale of Beard's Bourbon Whiskey Podcast. And we're traveling to Kentucky, the bourbon capital of the world. And that's getting ready to happen right about now.
Corporate Cody.
What's up?
Of course, got my man Bo in the building.
I say.
And it's your boy Q Lewis, man, representing live from the 48205. But we're not in 48205 today, man. We in Louisville. And I don't even know the zip code here.
Yeah, so, what is the zip code here?
I don't know what the zip code is. But we here. So, all right, we in the best place for bourbons and whiskeys right now, man. And today we got something that's really local. All right, it's called Rowan's Creek. All right, Rowan's Creek. Now, I think what's dope about this is something you just read on the back of the label. That the creek actually flows through the distillery.
Yeah, that's dope, right?
For sure. Yeah. So obviously Rowan's Creek is in Louisville.
Oh, by the way, we in the 40204, baby.
40204.
40204.
All right, that's where we at now.
That's a lot of zeros.
Yeah. 40204. Right. Kind of excited about this. I think something that Corporate Cody actually mentioned off camera is that it does look like a wine bottle. So it definitely does like a wine bottle. This is a local distillery. The young lady at the liquor store told us that this was a pretty small brand, so it's something we wanted to be interested in. To end out the season right here in Louisville, we wanted to find something, or is it Louisville?
Louisville.
Sorry, Louisville. We wanted to find something that was small and a lot of people didn't know about, especially since a lot of our viewers and listeners are in Michigan. So we're excited about that. Today, of course, we're not going to take too long to get into the bottle as we normally do. We're going to jump right off into it. But today's topic, though, I guess it seems weird pounding this one, though, because it looks like a wine bottle. Yeah. It's kind of weird. And
you know what also about Louisville?
What's up?
They call their liquor stores libation facilities.
What's that?
Libation facilities.
Word? Seriously?
Nah, I made that up.
And this is why he's never on the show.
I made that up. I figured it'd be libation facilities.
Keep your ass off camera.
Right. And now, today, what we're going to get into, though, all right, got that decaf, so we go pour up in just a moment. But today's topic, actually, I guess it's cool to kind of get into what made us come up with this. Kind of had a little, I won't call it a situation. I guess just heard a term that I don't think anybody was comfortable with yesterday while we were here. And it just started making us think, like, how often do we kind of encounter underlying little terms of racism and, like, you just kind of go about your life like it's nothing. So we're going to get into that. So, because we always talking about a lot of black stuff. And being here in Louisville, I guess we do have to definitely say justice for Breonna Taylor Steele. I still don't know what's going on with that.
Arrest those dudes.
All right, arrest those dudes. So yeah, we still on that tip, and we right here in Louisville. So shout out to y'all. And on a funnier note, man, shout out to the white businesses that put Black Lives Matter in their windows just so that they don't get vandalized. Not that they actually support the movement. I just want to throw that out there. All right, so let's go ahead and pour up a little bit and see what we're working with here. Did you have any ideas or any thoughts of what it might be like?
No, I have no clue.
No clue.
You can put your nose in the bottle again.
You know I'm good at that, Doug. And today, because we were a little unprepared, we don't have any actual bourbon or whiskey glasses.
Yeah, we don't have no rocks glasses, y'all. Sorry about that. So we're gonna make do. We should have prepared better.
But you know what? No, we shouldn't have. We here. Let's see what we got here.
I'm gonna let mine breathe sit for a minute. Y'all tell me what y'all think.
It's a very long way down to get a smell. feel like it's gonna be. I feel like it's gonna be some sweetness to it. So possibly some caramel, not too strong.
Okay.
I think it's gonna be kind of light. Yeah. So kind of caramel, maybe a little hint of like something floral, maybe. It's a long way down. It's hard to
Smell some
tell.
honey and like I said, it's sweet. I know that.
Yeah, that's what I said. Definitely
It's
smell
honey.
like. I say caramel, maybe even cocoa. Like sometimes it has a kind of smell.
I'm gonna say oranges. I'm a little nutty, like earthy type taste, maybe. Possibly some cocoa on the finish, maybe. We'll see.
Different
It's
from
a
what it
thin
smells
drip.
like.
It's a thin drip when you swill. Look at the swill when you swill it around your glass. Watch it dribble down.
Yeah.
It's a thin drip, so it's not a thick. It probably won't be a thick, heavy taste.
Right,
Some
definitely.
bourbons have a thick, heavy taste.
For sure.
It's definitely some citrus there. It's a little cocoa, maybe. I think
Probably at the end.
the finish. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
At the beginning,
At the nose. Yeah, the nose.
Yeah, I guess because you said citrus, I taste it now, but I didn't smell it at first, honestly.
The
So.
palate, the palate. I don't think it's really complex, man. You know, I think it's really just like a little citrusy. Maybe some floral notes, but yeah, I don't think
I
it's
smell
really
it, but I
complex.
don't taste it. Like I smell it, but I don't taste it. So yeah, not bad. So not bad. So shout out to Rowan's Creek, which is again a small distillery. It's actually in Louisville, right?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So bad. Shout out to them. I think.
Well, it's in Rowan's Creek.
Oh, that's the actual place.
Yeah, the actual place.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. So we got.
I thought you meant like in Kentucky. Yeah.
Gotcha. All right, so yeah, this is pretty dope. This is a nice way to end off the show. And you know what we didn't prepare for, honestly? It's the season finale, and I didn't get my list together for the top 10, or top 8, rather.
Well, we can still do that.
Yeah, we probably just had to cut.
Yeah, we can cut
we'll cut it and we'll come back to you. All right, so look, just thinking about, what we was talking about off camera, though, as far as kind of experiencing, like, underlying tones of racism, man. Corporate Cody, since you the guest, we'll throw it to you first. Have you ever experienced something that you felt like after the fact was kind of some underlying racism? You didn't check it, but like when you got home and thought about it, you was like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah. Like, just being the bigger, just being the guy, one being the guy, then being the bigger guy in the office is like, okay, hey Ryan, could you come move this? You passed 6 people to come to me, but I'm the manual labor guy. And we all get degrees.
Yeah, you from good stock.
Yeah.
Dog,
Look at this right here.
wow.
Like,
Got us a good old boy right here, good old
not
Negro right
past,
here.
Older men or women in general, just older men. It's like you passed 6 people to get here to ask me to move this box off this. Well, it's on the shelf. It's a little step ladder right there, so it's not like I'm doing something amazing. Like, but you passed 6 people to get to me.
Is that a racial thing or a 6'3" thing?
I think it's a little bit of both. A little bit of both. Like I said, microaggressions. Like you think of moving something or something need to be lifted, it's gonna get Ryan.
Yeah.
Like you passed the 2 guys on the way here. Like
Right.
even though I could be 30, 35, 40.
Yeah.
They're 45, 50, but it's okay to put that physical strain on my 30,
Right.
40, 35, 40-year-old heart and
Right.
45-year-old heart. Like, all right, we put on Ryan heart. Like, he okay. Little small microaggressions.
I feel you.
Like that.
So like when stuff like that happened, did you actually go back and say something about it?
I think I did. I can recall one time, but that's because I think me and that manager at the time, or that director, I think we had a mutual respect where I can let you know how you offend me. Because some people take the message in, process it, and learn how to be better. Some people take the message in as you're coming after my character.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just telling you how you made me feel. Well, that wasn't my intention. That's cool. That don't have to be your intention.
Right.
I'm telling you how I
what
felt.
it was, though, right? Exactly.
Listen.
No matter what your
Yeah,
intentions were, man.
I'm telling you how I felt, but that's not what I meant though. Like you still telling me how on a microaggression level how I should feel about what you said to me.
Right.
You taking it wrong.
Right. I didn't ask you to tell me how I took it. I'm just letting you know how I feel about it. Right, for sure.
Yeah.
So it sounds like most of your experiences with that probably was from corporate America. Though. Would you say that's true?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I push back on them. I push back at times to ask that question, like, hey, make yourself, when they say make yourself a strong anchor within the team, this, that, and other. Okay, but I'm the new mid-level, person in HR. you have people director level, 6, 7 figure salaries, but shouldn't you be the leadership to come down to me, introduce you, build a relationship? But I got to go out my way and show you that I'm an adequate part of the team, or I'm a good piece to the machine, cog in the machine, so to speak. It's like,
be a good team player, right?
Yeah, you're the higher person. You should come down to me like, okay, we got a new person on our team. It's me.
Right.
Oh, I got to get to 6 layers. Like, yeah, how you doing? I'm new to your team. Yeah, I saw you invited me to a meeting, but I've been busy. I got to invite you. You're the one that should know.
Right.
I already know who you are because you're the vice president.
Obviously, right. I already know who you are. Yeah.
Those
definitely should make themselves available, though.
Yeah,
definitely.
those are small microaggressions. I think happen more or less in corporate America.
Yeah.
I couldn't say how it is for women because they come after their earrings, hair. This is mostly with women of color.
Yeah.
like dress.
Probably hairstyles too, though.
Yeah, like I said, hair,
Most likely.
earrings, nails.
Right.
Like, you know, most black women I've experienced are voluptuous. You don't have to be full figures. Voluptuous. Most black women are right, voluptuous in one way, shape, or form. I don't think a lot of times they're ready for that in corporate America. Like, that's a bit much.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, yeah. And this is a question I want to ask both of y'all once we get through this stuff. But, Bo, what about you, man? Any experiences with, like, microaggression, I guess we call it?
Yeah.
He's like, I got several, cuz.
First of all, shout out to nephew. Appreciate the hat, cuz. The classic pothead. Appreciate you, bro.
For sure.
Experiences in corporate America. Right?
Yeah, I guess we'll just call it that.
Man. I don't even. It's tough, y'all. I don't even know where to begin, really. Right? You know.
You got several ideas.
Several. You know, just rush to my head. You know. I used to work for Amazon. You know. I openly say that now.
That's no longer a thing.
Yeah, Amazon's fucked up, man.
If you've seen earlier episodes, you probably noticed they usually refrain from using that name. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, you know, just for certain legal ramifications, you know. But anyway, yeah, one situation really sticks out to me, man. We were sitting at one of the fulfillment centers, and it was right outside of Cleveland, and we were planning for like Christmas time and shit like that, right? So we're planning all, you know, the 3PLs and, you know, trucks, trailers, drivers, just all of that type of stuff, you know. And one of the drivers, somebody got off telling the story about one of the drivers or something like that, who happened. I think he's from Iraq.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And so then one of the dudes at the table was like, "Oh, we got a Haji, huh?" Like that. And like it kind of shocked me at first, because I didn't expect to hear that shit.
Came out like just so easily.
Yeah. Oh, we got a Haji, you know, and like nobody, you know, and like it shocked me. I looked, and it's probably like 12 people in this room. Like no one really, nobody flinched, nobody nothing, you know. And so probably about 10 minutes went by. You know, the meeting's going on, and I was like, hold up, like, are we going to address this, you know? And then people were like, "Address what, Carl?" It's like, we just can't say Haji like that, you know.
Right.
Like, I was like, that's not cool, you know.
Derogatory.
Yeah, you know.
It's derogatory.
Well, that's probably a discussion, you know, offline. It's like, no, that shit was said right now. We need to address it right now.
Exactly.
You know, that's not okay.
Yeah.
The dude was sitting right across from me, and obviously he's shocked that I'm just bringing this shit up.
Yeah.
So I'm like, no, I'm calling you on your bullshit, bro. That shit ain't cool.
Yeah.
You know.
But then right there that they even pointed you to the fact that possibly you should be taking care of that offline, lets you know what the culture is.
Well, yeah, you know, a lot of it is Amazon, just how fucked up they are. But then a lot of it is just white folks, you know. And I'm not going to clarify by saying some white folks. I'm done doing that shit. If you're not racist, you know you're not racist, right? So you don't need me to clarify that shit, okay?
True.
But yeah, man, like, and then it just became this thing, like, Carl, we need to get on this meeting. Like, I was the one that all of a sudden I was the disruption now, right?
Right.
You know? And like, I got called out for that shit. Like a couple times. I had to go talk to HR for it. You know, we had an official meeting and blah, 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 and this and that, and you got us off track and all. But this motherfucker's sitting right here and just calling people Hajis and shit. Like, what's going on? But that's okay. That's cool. Yeah. You know? I think, you know, we have certain channels to handle things like that and blah, blah. It's like, no, man, and that shit's not right, dude. You know?
At all.
And, Yeah, man, like it was for real a thing. I got a letter because of this shit, because obviously I told some people that some higher ups where the fuck they could go. You know what I mean? So I got letters and shit like that. I had to go talk to HR.
Right.
Had to go to fucking anger management, all that shit for calling some shit out that was wrong in the first damn place.
Exactly.
Right. So that's what I think about corporate America, to tell you the truth.
Now, so yeah, this is what I was gonna ask after both of y'all answered that. Who's this? Like, obviously, I think it's some racial undertones in a lot of the processes, and even like not even just what people saying, but like the process is already in place. But like, do y'all think that's because we weren't in corporate America at first, so we kind of wasn't written into the plan, or do you think that like some white people just they on that shit? Like is this something you think that was like kind of inbred in some of these corporations because we wasn't even there at first, so they don't even know what to do with us? Or do you think it's some shit that they just do?
I think they look at us like we should just kind of like bide our time, consider ourselves lucky to be there.
Damn.
The other thing I think is that's just how they operate, because like they talk to each other kind of reckless too.
And that's why I asked, because they shit on each other too.
Right, and like if you let somebody talk to you that way, that's on you, okay? Right, you know, you your own person.
Right.
But that's not gonna happen with me, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, all of a sudden I wasn't a team player. I was disruptive, aggressive. And hell yeah, I was angry because someone just made a racist ass term and y'all refused to acknowledge that shit. Yes, I'm angry. Yeah. All that shit.
Shit like that needs to be addressed right then.
Yeah.
That's not nothing we need to schedule a meeting for.
Exactly,
you know
right,
like,
yeah.
I mean, if somebody
2 weeks from now, let's talk about the white guy who said nigger or haji or something like.
I mean, let's just be honest though. Somebody had to say a fag. We'd address that shit right then.
I'm not. I hate the. I feel you. I hate the what if game, so I'm not gonna play that. But like, that's out there too, I guess. But I'm just concentrating on what was actually said. You know?
Right. What's the But I'm just saying, I think that's definitely something that's different. I guess I want to ask this too, and then I got an example myself. But I guess I want to ask this too. Do like being in corporate America? I mean, all three of us have been in corporate America at one point or another. Do you feel like there is, I won't say competition, but do you feel like there is some kind of like urge to at least be like have that same aggression that they have for LGBT for us, like in corporate America? Like do we feel the need to have that type of attention and that kind of aggression to resolve shit?
I don't know.
We don't have that.
I don't know. I'm not LGBTQ. I don't know. I don't know. I don't have an opinion on that. Really. I mean, treat them like you treat everybody else. Like, you know.
We won't know. We can't know because obviously we're even though civil rights was 65, like you gotta think about it, like that's, we only got really 70 years, 70 probably to less than 100 years total working in corporate America. So we got a lot of ground to make up.
Not even that really. When you look at, when they trying to, to actually get us in there, right? You know what I mean? You know, all those initiatives. So even, you're right though, man. That's a great point.
So we're trying to make up stuff, like you said. Some of the stuff is already established because hell, they did it to, what was it? What's that crazy TV show that everyone loves, Mad Men? Like it showed you how they demoralized.
I've never seen that.
Yeah, I've never
secretaries like from the mid, I think 30s and 40s and 50s, and I think some of the 70s. They showed you, but it was one of the TNT's highest rated TV shows. But it showed you how corporate America was back in the 50s and 60s.
Yeah.
Mistresses out,
still is really, but
embezzlement, but
they just cover it up better.
It's an awesome show, but those are some of the things that are instilled in today in corporate America, and people don't know how to break. Now they're forcing you to break it, and people don't like. No, we'll have a meeting about it. No, we address it right now in front of everybody, where people go home feeling the right way instead of feeling uneasy, like. Oh, he really had nerve to say that. I gotta watch what I gotta say around Bob or Bill or Craig or
Todd.
Because if you waiting to have a meeting about some shit that happened,
you got to give people enough time to recognize it, like it's
exactly. Exactly. I was gonna say the exact same thing. So there's too much time to try to like put an excuse behind it. So it's definitely an issue. I think for me though, is because I think when I worked in corporate America, like in all aspects. I think with me it's kind of like it's an identity thing. Cause I know most of the time when I go into a corporate office, I don't look like most like corporate people. Like I don't shave my beard. Like I wear my hat to my desk. Like I do that kind of thing. More attractive. This dude. I think after that, of course, like there's always like some sort of stigma, especially when people like find out where where I'm from. I remember just recently when I was working at General Motors. I guess it's cool to talk about them now. But there, it was a lot of young white millennials, and even in management, people was like between 30 and 35, like all these white people who either lived in surrounding areas or have now migrated to the city. And I think the fact that, well, I'm sorry, they didn't migrate to the city, but they work in the city, obviously. And I think the fact that I was actually probably I was the only person in the office that actually lived in the city of Detroit. And it's like when I talked about Detroit, it's amazing to me how bad they shit on the city that they take so much resources out of though. It's like, how can you talk so bad about a city that you work in? Like, you chose to come down here, but like you don't want to go outside this half-mile radius because you like afraid for your life. In all honesty, the General Motors building is downtown Detroit. Like, nothing's happening downtown. But it's like the way they talk about things and the way they mention, because I mentioned to them like where I was from. And amazingly, like even some of it was 2 black girls that worked there, and one of them had like no idea where I was talking about because she was like from Saginaw or something. So she had just moved like to Grosse Pointe or something. I don't know. I can't remember. But like the fact remains that even black or white people who don't live in the city have like a preconception of what's going on there, which I get it because I've lived outside the city and outside the state before, and looking in from a media standpoint, it's fucking horrible. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I look at it and it makes you. It will make you think that people are animals. Like, the media really control like what you see and how you feel about certain people. So I get that point. But I think when you're working in the office and we all in the same group on the same team, there needs to be some kind of like boundaries, obviously, to how people talk to each other and to be able to express your views and have me be able to counter those views without looking like the angry black guy in the office. And I think that's the stigma that we come with, especially with women. I know they get it probably more than we do. But like, as a black man in corporate America, what's scary about that whole situation is that you feel like you never get to voice your opinion because like you're afraid to rock the boat. You know what I'm saying? And that's not acceptable. And I think that's the part even with the racial undertones and just the way people. And I hate to say it like this because I don't want to seem like we're whining, but like the way you're being handled in corporate America is just. I'm not with that shit. And I know that white people do that to each other in corporate America, so I know it's a practice. And the scary thing about corporate America, it is a direct representation of how America works in the first place. So like, if you look at the grand scheme of corporate America, this is how the world works. And that's why we actually have a problem right now. And we want to address it. Don't mean that we just want to kill all white people. Like, we just want to have it addressed so people understand what's going on and act accordingly. The same way, to the same standards that we're held to. Like, it's always concerning to me that this is just like interaction with police. If we want to make that equation, this is just like interaction with police. It's always amazing to me how people not of color, I guess we'd say, are able to confront authority with so much angst. Like, we can't really.
White people.
I'm always trying to be politically correct, but yeah, we can't go against the machine without looking aggressive. And I think what scares people about that aggression so much is that fear of knowing that you did wrong shit. Like, if you didn't do wrong shit, most shit wouldn't scare you. You know what I'm saying? Like, black people wouldn't scare you if you wasn't over here saying nigga shit. Like, so the dude who said the little racist, basically racist word, derogatory word and shit. Now, once you brought that up though, and they said something about a meeting or whatever, like, did the guy like ever actually personally like take responsibility for that and say like, yeah, I shouldn't have said that shit, or did anything happen?
I doubt it, but honestly, I don't know, right? Obviously, he didn't say it to me, and not that I would have let him anyway, because like.
Yeah,
you said it, and at that point you act like no, like what, whatever, like, so I know how you really feel about it. So I wouldn't accept an apology for him anyway. Okay. I'm like, fuck your apology, right? But the dude, like, I don't think anything ever happened, right? he was still working there and day in, day out, none of that, you know. I think he recently got a promotion not long ago, to tell you the truth. Like, for real. Like, I'm not joking.
Yeah.
Like, for real. You know, because in Amazon they do it by levels. You know, you're level 4, you're level 5, you're level 6.
Right.
I think at the time he was a level 5, and I think he's a level 6 now, right? So yeah, I mean,
so they encourage that.
you know, and you know what? So I'm glad you brought that up too. Like, yeah, basically you encourage it, right? Because if you don't discourage it and if you don't stop it, it's going to fester and it's going to grow. So yes, you're encouraging it, right? And nobody did anything to stop it. So it is what it is.
I think they know how, like, corporate America knows how to hide it from within, but they don't know how to hide it from the external sources. In the sense of people in their races, you know, videos or protests or whatever it is, when they get caught on tape, like, I think they've trained themselves. Corporate America's training, and America's trained itself in general. Like I said, corporate America is the representation of what's going on in America, not the world. Obviously, I can't speak for the world, but they know how to hide it underneath blue paperwork.
Right.
Right, we can't fire you, but when they see a racist ran on a video or something like that, they quick to cancel culture. They're quick to fire a person. We don't agree with his or her anti-Semitic or black outlets. They're gone. Yeah. But you see it in a team meeting, like, did he just say Hajib in the team meeting? Like, we're gonna call it out. Well, this is not the time and the place to do that.
Yeah.
But when is it?
No, speaking of anti-Semitic, I think we gotta have a conversation about Nick Cannon, right?
Cannon.
Yeah, we gotta have a conversation.
Maddie made that bullshit apology.
He did an apology?
I think, didn't he apologize?
Oh, I wasn't sure.
I think he apologized.
to the Jewish community.
I think 50 said something about him, you know, y'all 50 trying to be clowning.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, I think he apologized.
I'm not gonna lie about that one though. The apology is what I didn't want, because I don't think that he said anything derogatory. I think the only thing he said was things that have been already written by other authors anyway. Like, this is just kind of regurgitated information. It's not like he made something up or said something derogatory. But as far as this, let me say this though. I had one conversation with a colleague of mine, and we had a conversation about this, and I was just saying that his thing was, okay, so what did he get out of, you know, saying what he said or whatever, right? So I said, to me, looking at the situation, I'm not looking at what was derived from him saying, you know, whatever he said about Jews and things like that. But what I am looking at is the possibility that after he was fired, the possibility of creating something of our own. Because obviously, if he gets, you know, fired from a major like Viacom, obviously, we can create something else, possibly with Diddy or somebody with Revolt or something that's kind of, you know, under black ownership. I think that's an advancement for us. So I think it could be a plus out of that. But I think where we ran into an issue is this colleague said you get to a certain point when you making enough money, you need to keep your mouth shut. And that shit kind of fucked with me. Like, I really didn't know that anybody in my circle thought like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it kind of fucked me up. Because I feel like certainly once I get to a certain point of making enough money, that's when I should be the most vocal. And I know it's risky. I know it's a lot on the line. I know it's a lot of people who were employed by, you know, Wild 'N Out and shit like that. But at the end of the day, I think that everybody that was in that, you know, associated with that show, they're not living on their last leg. Like, I don't think they go die if the show don't come back. And obviously, I think Nick Cannon is in several different positions where he'll be able to hook them up with something somewhere. And I think this is going to be advantageous for us as a culture to move forward into something of more black ownership. You know, something away from Viacom. But he said that though, and I'm just wondering, like, inside your circles, like, do you ever think, and Corporate Cody, I'm gonna start, Corporate Cody. My bad.
It's making you feel good.
So, I mean, it can be Corporate Cody or it can be your real name, I don't know. You already said your name, so it's fine. So Ryan, like, you can comment on this first. Like, do you ever think that, like, inside the circle that you kind of had these conversations with, would you ever think that somebody in that circle would actually have that belief system? Like, once you get to a certain point, like, you better shut up, be quiet. Like, that's some real cool shit to me, though.
Yeah, that'll make. I mean, honestly, that made me look at my circle and my friends in general, like, and another, like, it's like, you
exactly.
feel that way, like, okay, I just gotta move with you differently. Like, I see where your mind is, and like, I still love you, you're still a friend. Like, but I just see how you move, and like, man, I don't want to move with that same type of energy. Like, I should shut up. Like, dude, they playing you, and you okay with being played?
I mean, basically, yeah. Right, that's what it amounts to. That's that, what's that, docile ass Negro.
Docile ass Negroes. That's what that is, yeah. That's exactly what it is.
But what you think, man? Inside your circle, somebody come up with some shit like that. And you really would like, kind of, that's out of left field though. Definitely nothing that I would have thought that anybody that, you know, I connect with on a basis like that would ever come across like that.
I try to keep my circle pretty small. My circle is pretty small anyway. So yeah, I would be highly surprised if that came out of someone from my circle. Quite frankly, we probably have a discussion, you know, obviously. No, I mean, like, for real, man to man type shit. Like, you know, I want to know what's going on, what's happening. Yeah. Can I keep fucking with you or can I not, you know?
Right.
No, like, make too much money to keep your mouth shut? No, like, that sounds like some old coon Uncle Tom ass shit, right?
Really do.
Yeah. I'm not broke, you know. I'm not obviously not a rich man, right? Mm-hmm. But I'm gonna say what's on my mind. You know what I mean? Now,
at the end of the day, that's all.
There's obviously ways and things and situations. You know how we go about things differently, right?
I think you are rich. I've learned this with finances. We're all rich, just we're not all wealthy.
You know, I'm talking about rich, nigga. Just like, you know, go out and just rich. You know,
spin. And don't worry about the bottom line.
No, not even the spin, but just
wealthy does.
Maybe, but y'all know what I mean out there, okay?
Right.
Jeez, but anyway, no, and like my word, who I am, can't be bought, right? So money shouldn't even matter.
Yeah. Especially when I'm
some
not
old house ass Negro shit. That shit made me mad thinking about it.
No, I'm telling you, like on some real shit. We were actually up at the bar when we was having this conversation, and shout out to nephew again, classic pothead. He was with me, and like when dude said that shit, he dismissed himself. He was like, all right, dog, I'm outside. Like he didn't even want to engage in the conversation. The only reason I engaged in the conversation is because I couldn't believe it, so I was like, at least let me explain what I'm saying then, because like maybe you thinking about it wrong, you know what I'm saying? But like after I pleaded my case and told him like how I understood it, he was still, you know, on that same side. So I was like, you know what, dog? We gonna agree to disagree, bro. Like, yeah. But like now it do make me look at like, you know, shit a certain way, because we always get down to the, you know, how many of us really go along and shit. And I know Bo always say you get your 10 and roll and shit. And I think that, you know, sometimes people, you know, kind of separate themselves out of that 10 by some of their actions and shit they say. I mean, it really caught me by surprise though, because he normally is like one of the more kind of militant people, you know what I'm saying? But then for him to say that just kind of fucked me up. And let's look at it like this. So even though I said that the people that's on the show probably not, for the most part, not living, you know, check to check. They all doing their own thing. This is just something they come together to do. But let's say that they was though. Sometimes though, like, I mean, you can't really have success without some failure. So at some point, it's gonna be some roadblocks in the road, and if that means that I get to say what I need to say and get some information out, and we sacrifice, you know, our livelihood at that point. Sometimes those sacrifices are necessary, and if you don't feel like those sacrifices are necessary, then that's a tough fight that's a tough battle to fight alongside me, because it's gonna be some it's gonna be some of those. So that just means that now I'm kind of uneasy about, you know, where, and this is not using it literally, but like where I'm taking. Like, so whatever path I'm going on, if this is your thinking, I don't know if no, I'm not gonna say I don't know. You can't come, like you can't come. But we was originally just in a circle, but then it's kind of like, it's weird now. Like I really don't know what to do with that shit. Like in all honesty, and that's something I think I mentioned that shit on my other show last week. But I don't really know what to do with that, dog. And especially when we had so many ideals that kind of lined up. So I thought we was kind of on the same path, but possibly not. So what do you do with people in your circle like that? I mean, because you don't necessarily want to cut them off. I don't guess.
I mean, we all different, right? I mean, me necessarily, right? Mm-hmm. If it's someone that's definitely, you know, was a solid person in my circle, you know, obviously I care about them as a person, right? Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'm gonna try to see what's going on and see if something can be salvaged. Mm-hmm. If it goes the other way, then like sometimes, you know, you got to move on from people, you know. You know, you dap them up, thank them for what they gave you, what what you gave them, what you learned from each other, and you fucking move on and shit.
Yeah.
I've had to do that with some people. Some people have had to do that with me. That's just life, I guess.
Now, kind of
we outgrow each other sometimes.
That's true. And just shifting that back to what we was talking about originally with kind of some of the microaggressions in corporate America, like, and to put this back into terms with like that person in your circle that seems to like not quite be on board with where you're going. When you looking at those people in corporate America that you would believe to be in your circle, and I think we talk about this all the time, I think it's an added obligation, and maybe it shouldn't be, but it's an added obligation for people that look like me to kind of, I mean, you don't have to bust the door open, but I feel like if you're there, like especially in a management or a higher level position, to at least kind of like, don't let me die by the wayside. You know what I'm saying? Now, is that unfair though? I mean, if you're looking at the fact that you got people in your own circle that sometimes don't line up. So like, is it unfair to think that somebody just because they look like you is in corporate America should be like reaching out the olive branch? Like, is it unfair to think that?
No, it's not unfair to think that, because that's been happening for decades. From white folks and people who don't look like us or whatever. Yeah. Pretty much whatever ethnic group you think about in this country, right? Like, they're always pretty closely knit. Think about, white folks, Koreans, Indians or whatever,
Opposite referrals, right?
I mean, yeah, because that's familiar. That's what we recognize. We share, similar interests and things like that, right? So no, I don't think that's unfair at all. That's the way it should be. And
I asked that, and I think I mentioned this probably on several episodes, but I'm going to mention it again because it's season finale of season 2. But there was a time again at General Motors, and I guess I explained the situation from the top. I came in because I was working in the afternoons, so I was getting there like 3:30, 4 o'clock, something like that. I can't remember. But I was coming in, and this one white girl that's on my team, like, she running down the aisle. Like, what the hell? Like, I haven't even plugged my laptop in or nothing. Like, I still got my hat on because I wear my hat inside the office, even though I shouldn't. But anyway, so before I sat down, she asked me, had I checked my email? So I started laughing, like, dog, my laptop is in my bag. I haven't done anything. Like, what's wrong? So apparently, the day before, I had worked on a case with one of the General Motors, dealerships, and we got a couple of different systems. So I had done the casework, reached out to the dealership and everything, and documented everything. But because we was working in split systems, if you pull it up in a different system, you won't see the documentation. So I guess apparently it came back across her desk, and it looked like I had looked at the case and didn't do nothing, right? So immediately, I guess she finished the work or whatever, and sent an email to me and my supervisor. And like, you know how corporate emails are. Instead of like, it was passive aggressive. She said that she wanted to know why I opened the case and didn't do X, Y, and Z. This is what the email said. And she tagged my supervisor, which was the only black manager in the whole office, right? So she running over there to tell me now because she didn't find out she fucked up. And she realized that I actually did do it, but she didn't send the email already. So she explaining all this to me, and then she's saying she's so sorry. Like, I didn't want that email to come across. Yes, you did. That's why you sent the motherfucker. Like, that's exactly why you sent it. But then I'm not mad at her. You know why? Because to me, I know how white women operate in corporate America because they getting fucked harder than we are. So I get it. I understand how she operating.
Harder than we are.
I'm talking about, man, chill out, dog. Not literally, motherfucker.
No. I don't mean it literally. Like,
I think so.
No, bro, no.
I mean, they getting the raw end of the stick too, though.
I'm not saying everything is cool with them, but black men have a better situation in corporate America than white women? Are you serious?
I don't know.
Hell no.
I haven't been in it long enough. I got the hell out.
Hell no.
I don't know. I got the hell out.
Hell no.
But all right, so look, all that aside, I understand that's how they get down, so I get it. I ain't even mad at her. But this is where I was mad at, though. My immediate supervisor, right, black dude, supposedly from Detroit, but my thing was this: she CC'd me, dude, on the email, and this is all I wanted, dog. All I wanted him to do was to come over to my desk and say, "I seen old girl CC me on something that you took care of. Make sure you cross all your T's and dot all your I's, cause like, dog, that's how it is in here." That's all I wanted. I didn't want to do nothing extra. But then it's like, he never had a conversation with me. So now I'm just like, what are you actually doing for me, dog? You know what I'm saying? Like, look out for me. We the only 2 black dudes on the team. I'm on the regular team, he in management. That's it. That's us. Ain't no more black dudes in the whole office, dog. Like, you couldn't just be like, hey, cuz, like, look, on some real shit, like, watch your back, cuz. Like, just say that. That's all I wanted. That's all I wanted.
That was my first time in corporate America. I went from being a program director at Boys and Girls Club to corporate America. My first week, I remember because my buddy got me the job with the company, and I was just a bull in the china shop. I just never saw myself working in shirt and ties and all that stuff, and I was still uncouth. And then my buddy, who was also my roommate, and he kept real with me. He's like, this is like my second week. He's like, I'm gonna be real with you, dog. They betting on when they gonna fire you. They got a poll going when they gonna fire you. Like, you serious, dog? So yeah, they got a bet. They don't think you gonna make it past the 30 days, dog. So I'm just letting you know, they betting on you to lose. And this type of whole ass games they play in corporate America, like but this is like, thank God my black friend came over this black guy told me what was going on. Yeah. Challenge, and show these dudes how we get busy out here. So all right, cool, you ain't sending them to work. And him ended up being top 2 producers for the company for like 5 years straight. But it's just the fact that no one saw me struggling in the beginning. Like I said, but I think I was my best friend who came over and told me, like, no, they gambling on you. They ain't picking a poll date when you gonna get fired. Like,
dog, and that's what I'm saying.
Nobody wants to come tell me what I did wrong.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
And not even tell you what you did wrong, but like, it's got to be a coachable moment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Corrective action plan.
Right, feedback, however they want to refer to it. You know, it's referred to as so many different things nowadays, right?
Sure.
You know, but so I just say, hey, I got some feedback for you. Come here. You know what I mean? And we talk. Sometimes, you know, I get a lot of meetings. You know, my calendar get full pretty quickly. You know, I might not be able to talk right away, right? Yeah. So I'm, you send somebody to know, hey, we need to connect. Saw what happening. I want to give you some advice. You know, at least, you know, give somebody a rain check or something, right? You know what I mean? And because I get it. Some, you know, things get busy, but also sometimes you want, you know, myself, you know, I'm talking about now. I'm very particular about who watches me do stuff and who I talk to and what I do, right? Because I already know I'm being watched. So I already know they're trying to, you know, gain some capital to hold against me in case whatever happens in the future. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So you just got to move very, you got to be very, very calculating, I guess, right? You know, very deliberate about some things, man. You know, so.
I mean, that's the thing about corporate America. Like I say, everything is kind of deliberate anyway. Like it needs to be anyway. It's kind of like you have to be direct with things because it's so much. I can't even think of another word. It's just so much bullshit in corporate America. I think that sometimes it's hard to overcome, especially when you start looking at the things that happen in America all the time are happening right there in that corporate office as well. And I think we talked about this on another episode. I do also understand some people in different positions where their hands, I won't say their hands are tied because I think you can always have a conversation. You might not be able to, like, you know, directly pull some strings, but you should always be able to pull my coattail. I think that takes nothing. You're not gonna lose your position or whoever's, you know, watching you because everybody's watching somebody. So like a lot of times they're in kind of in the middle, so they're watching you, but they got somebody on their back. I get that part, but like I still think I at least deserve the conversation. And I see when that doesn't happen, it's 2 things that ran through my head in my situation anyway. The first thing was maybe this whole corporate America thing not for dude, you know what I'm saying, like my manager, because like he probably don't see it like I see it. Maybe he's just using this shit as a stepping stone somewhere else, just like I am. He just happened to be in management. And that happens too. But like if you really trying to maneuver around though, and this is how it's about to be, like we such a small percentage in there. Like you at least owe me the heads up though. I should not be coming in running on ground level with nobody pulling my coattails when I got somebody that look like me in upper management. It just don't make sense. I shouldn't be out here motherfucking running around like a, you know, chicken with a head cut off when you can just tell me like, dog, go that way. Yeah. That's it, bro. Like you ain't gotta open the door for me, just hey dog, go that way, bro. And so I know what to do. Yeah. And again, this is just like in life, in your circle and everything else. A lot of times you just can't hold other people accountable for shit that you think make perfect sense. Yeah. It don't make perfect sense for everybody. You know what I'm saying? But getting back to racial overtones or undertones rather, in that situation, I never really encountered any like direct like being called like a nigga or something like that. Like
Size won't allow that shit. You see the car going by about 100 yards, hey nigga.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, I had this conversation with a black acquaintance of mine, black male acquaintance of mine. I want to say no names. I want to put his business out there.
Okay.
But anyway, we had this conversation, right? It was just kind of like, man, you know, we see all these things going on with race today, you know, and all these things going viral, and these people saying this and these people saying that. And, you know, myself and this gentleman are two rather large black men and rather aggressive looking and acting black men, right? So I was like, dog, think about it. Like, it's not a coincidence. You know, it's not a coincidence.
Right.
Ain't nothing come up to me or you talking that bullshit like that, unless they're high or drunk or something like that, right? You know what I mean?
This is not a coincidence.
Yeah, I just thought it's the funniest thing, man. You know, you watch these little back and forths and whatnot, and then I don't know why. Maybe y'all can shed some light on this. I don't know why white folks think they can just get away with some of the shit they've been saying. You know, because like
audacity.
Because what's starting to happen, yeah. But we see some of these things that start happening now. They paying for their little things. They say like they catching some two pieces out here, you know, with a biscuit, you know.
Right.
So, hey, I don't know, man, but
I think a lot of times it's just really like a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? I mean, a lot of things they just have that expectation that they're able to do. Like, they don't even have to entitle.
They feel like that shit just is there starting off with, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Damn, what was it? I think we was talking about it not long ago. Anyway, I'm not gonna sit here and try to remember it if it comes to me. Great, but
Right. Last Tuesday, what are you talking about? Like to think of that.
I want to address the thing that this brought up though, right? So we were at a soccer game yesterday.
Right. I didn't know if we was gonna get into the actual
Location.
Yeah.
No, just the actual situation. But we here now, so
we were at a soccer game, and you know, everybody was cool, you know, nothing like that. And
very, very diverse room.
yeah, it was. It was. People from Peru, people from where else was it? Ecuador or something like that. Germany, black folk, white folk, you know, Detroit, yeah. Right. Very diverse room, right?
It was.
And so, here's my thing. I don't know if anything was meant purposely by this or not. You know, I don't know what their relationship is, but this just goes to speak about, you know, you got to be careful what you say because you don't know who's around you and how they're gonna take it, right? Because how I took it, this person walked up to another person, and I don't know this for sure. I assume they work together, right?
Yeah, because from that conversation,
yeah, it kind of seemed like a boss, you know, subordinate type conversation almost.
True.
So the person who I think may be the boss was like, "Hey, this is my Hispanic," right? So obviously the subordinate was, I don't like using that word subordinate, but that person was Hispanic.
Yeah.
But they refer to them as, first of all, this is my, possessive, showing ownership.
Right.
Hick, Hick as in country person, Hispanic.
Yeah.
First of all, I don't belong to no goddamn body, right?
Right.
Definitely ain't no motherfucking Hick,
yeah.
Right? Call me exactly what I am, a black man, you know?
And I think what caught everybody off guard was that it didn't catch nobody else off guard.
Exactly.
Like, so that's what was weird. Like,
and so like
nobody paused and
I had sent a text to these guys like, hey, y'all ready to go, man?
Hey, look, the subordinate was with her husband, and he didn't even flinch. Like,
so man.
I guess it's just what it is.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
He agrees with that guy who told you once you get to have the money, you shut your mouth.
Right.
Your mouth.
Yeah, they definitely the same circle.
Don't say another word, brother.
Yeah, I just didn't think that was cool, and like, you know, I don't know.
He was ready to go at that point.
Yeah, that's why I sent a text like, okay, y'all ready? Because I heard it, and then
I want to say she said it multiple times though.
I think so.
I think she said it more than once.
I think so. But
strange encountering though. But then that's one of those things though. Like, people become comfortable with shit that they shouldn't. You know what I'm saying? And that happens in corporate America a lot though. You come comfortable with shit because you trying to get to a certain level. But it's like you definitely don't want to like lower your standards
Yes, sir.
for that to happen, though. Like, and that's something that I think that as black people we do so much of that anyway. Just trying to live regular life, we compromise so much. So you get to corporate America, it's like, bro, I'm straight. I'm not compromising that. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause we do it so much just in everyday life. And
Code switching.
yeah, definitely code switching. And I wanted to say this too, because I think we all gave corporate America scenarios, but I did want to say this though. I don't really know if this was like racial undertone, but like sometimes white people try to be too cool, like trying to like show your blackness.
Just be you, man.
Like, dog, just be you, bro. Like when we was at the gun again, like so everybody was talking about corporate experiences, but I had one experience and what?
I was listening. I'm just listening, bro.
All the hella attention. So I know it's some bullshit coming.
No.
I said, look, we at the gun range or whatever, and we in line, you know, making our purchase. And again, this is where white people just trying to be like too cool and trying to be too down and shit. So obviously, I guess the white dude was like from Detroit or something. He asked us where we was from. I told him where, you know, he was from Detroit or whatever. He was like, where at? So I said, you know, 6 Mile and Hoover, you know, 4205. So he said he from over by Persian or something. But anyway, he said, so this is your first time purchasing, you know, with us? I was like, yeah. So he's like, so this is your first time having a legal gun, huh? Which, when you say that, like, I guess you're trying to be facetious, but then it's still that idea that
He knew exactly what
that it make me feel like, so, because I'm a nigga from the city, then I've been always getting illegal guns. Like,
He knew
like that.
exactly what he was saying.
Yeah, so I smirked it off, you know what I'm saying? Because I be trying to let motherfuckers live. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I be trying to let motherfuckers live.
Sensitive. Peacemaker over here.
I fight the battles that need to be fought and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that dude is gonna be who he is the rest of his life. Nothing I said that day was gonna change this shit.
True.
But I let certain motherfuckers live. But he said that shit, and then he said something to my nephew about he said he probably more black than he is. Because he went to Persia and shit, right? This is what he told my nephew. Now, I wasn't over there, but I heard the conversation. I was just like, damn, this nigga getting out of control. You know what I'm saying? Like, this nigga get out of pocket. Like, so, look, dog. We want to get into the positions that we need to be in, the ones that we qualify to be in. Allies are cool. You don't have to do extra to prove that you down for the cause. Be your motherfucking self. If you racist, be racist. If you don't understand black people, don't understand black people. Like, be who you are, though. Like, stop trying to do so much. Because, like, that's something from our culture that we don't understand. Anybody trying to do too much, we can't deal with that shit. Like, I don't want you trying to be too black. Like, just like, in particular, like, niggas from the hood. Like, niggas from the hood don't always be hood niggas. You know what I'm saying? Like, you might have grew up in a certain area and that's just not your thing. Like myself. Like when people tell me like, oh, like you hood, you from, I'll be like, dog, I got a college degree. Nigga, I wrote 6 books. I'm not a hood nigga. I'm not. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. Like, so let's be clear. A lot of times my surroundings and what I grew up in does, you know, it will dictate some of the things I say or some of the ways I present myself. Yeah, that happens. But yeah, I'm not no fucking thug. I'm not no hood nigga. Like I enunciate sometimes when I want to. You know what I'm saying? So like this is different. But like, just be who you are though. Like if that's not who you, I had this conversation, and this is just real quick side story. I had this conversation actually with Coco J with her son, because he was at the time, I think he was like 18 or 19, and I was just asking like on some real shit. Like they didn't grow up in the city. So I'm like, dog, how many of your homies and how many of your family members are in jail or dead right now? And he like, none. So I was like, dog, you should be thankful for that shit and quit trying to live this fucking life that's not yours, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got all of us in here got so many family members, so many friends who dead or in jail.
Hell yeah, some dumb shit.
Don't be this if you ain't got to be that. Simple as that. Like, be suburban, motherfucker. Like, get a good education in your suburban school, motherfucker. Like, live your life.
You know what?
Quit trying. So
yeah, hell yeah.
Man.
I also want to say this though, right? Yeah, don't try too hard. Definitely that. But if you got questions, if you curious about shit, come approach me.
Yeah.
I got to give a shout out to one of my homeboys. You know, I don't know if he wanted his name said or anything like that, so I won't say it.
Okay.
But, you know, white dude. And he reached out, you know, I went to high school with this cat.
Okay.
You know, he reached out to me one day and he's like, hey, man, like, obviously this shit is fucked up around here, bro. Like, I just got some questions, man. Like, can we just talk a little bit? Like, I want to know a few things. And I was like, dog, I'm not an expert. I can tell you about my experiences and shit.
Right.
You know, but like, I'm not an expert. You know, I'm just saying. You know, he's like, yeah, man, I just kind of want to hear some things, man. Like, cause literally, like some, I'm gonna say it, some white folks out there really want to know what's going on. Like, cause they've never been through the shit. They have no idea.
No clue.
And that's privilege right there in itself, right? You have no clue what it's like to be fucked with all the time and shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I appreciate people like him because he just kept it 100 with me, man. He's like, hey, come over, you know, let's smoke a cigar, let's rap a taste a little bit, talk about this bullshit. I mean, like, you know, we just two people, but, you know, it's just like, when those relationships are formed like that, right, and those conversations are being had, and like motherfuckers like legitimately care, yeah, you know, come on at me. I got no problem with talking to you. You know, we'll learn from each other. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. But like you said, that try too hard shit.
Yeah, quit.
Yeah,
Quit.
come on,
Yeah,
bro. No, come on.
Like, trying to
be yourself.
Right. Trying to prove your acceptance.
Yeah, just be yourself, man. That's what I love about. I say it almost every episode, but that's what I love about my homeboy Toby, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Shout out to Toby, you know what I mean?
Sure.
Happy anniversary a couple days late, you know what I mean? But yeah, you and Shay Shay. Like, Toby is a genuine ass dude, man.
Yeah, so that's the problem. So it's cool. It's cool when it go down like that, when people just kind of want to get educated, because at the same time, like we all need education on something. If you at a point where you think you know everything, then you definitely in the wrong circle anyway. Because like every day that you live your life, you should be learning something new. And when people are genuinely interested in like what's going on, that's better perceived than somebody trying to convince you that they already down. You know what I'm saying, for the cause. And if you ain't never, like in real life, if you ain't never lived, like I ain't even gonna say in the city, but if you ain't never lived through a day in your life being black, like you can't always exactly understand, because like it's something you have to experience.
You gotta live through it. Yeah.
You gotta live it. I can't lie.
Can't really put it in words.
But you can definitely ask questions, get some understanding.
For sure.
And do realize that you know that there is a, you know, a kind of a conceived privilege when you're not black. So whether you take advantage of that, if you take advantage of that or even know that it exists, I think that there needs to at least be a conversation. If you're not even open to that, then you can't ever tell me that you're down for any cause that, you know, that we're talking about. Sliding back to the whiskey real quick, because we're getting ready to wrap it up and give you guys our top 8 for the season, which I think if you've been watching
In Louisville, Kentucky.
Right, in Louisville,
The Bourbon Trail.
This is the first day I've said it correctly like 3 times. Louisville.
Ask about the waffles though.
What about the waffles?
I just thought maybe people should ask you about the waffles.
So anyway,
Waffles.
So right, before we get out of here and me and Bo give our top 8 for the season, man, what do you think about Rowan's Creek?
Actually, I think it's pretty smooth. Like after that first initial glass, it got smoother and just it got smoother as I more I drank, and the taste jumped out of me.
Yeah.
More and more.
You know what surprises me? I've never seen you drink anything neat.
Straight, you're right.
Yeah, I don't do it too often. Like,
Yeah, so
you must like it.
Shit. Like, yeah.
Right. I think it's almost to a point where it's such a light sweetness that I think that ice will probably make it like too watered down.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think it'd be too watered down. So you say this is Ryan's first time being on the show, and obviously the first time we've ever seen him drink anything without ice or pop in it,
right.
or
juice.
soda, depending on where we are.
Oh yeah, down here is Coke. Everything's Coke.
Yeah,
What kind of Coke you want?
Right.
What kind of Coke I want? Orange, vanilla Coke?
I took the other type of Coke, but that's not that
Sprite?
popular.
Make it the fuck out of here. Coke Lee. Gummy, don't they coming?
Right. Hey, so out of the whiskeys and bourbons that you had, like, what do you think about this one? Like, is it high up, low down? Like, what you think?
I think this is one of
Well, just to give you a
sleeper.
scale.
This is a sleeper. Out of all the brands I've seen y'all drink, some of the ones that y'all present, y'all allowed me to taste with y'all. This is a low-key sleeper.
Allowed, right?
Yeah, I know. Y'all kept me in a cage.
Just to give you like a little ranking system too, what we've been doing at this point is the Black Power Fist.
Mm-hmm.
So out of 5, how many would you give it?
I would give it 3.5.
3.5? Oh shit!
Like I said, it's a sleeper.
It's a sleeper.
It's good enough. Like, come out with some more brands. Come out with some. Now it's all about building that legacy. Like, I think it's young, and it's a good start. It's a good, really good start. Like you said, 3.5 Black Power Fist, because it's a smooth brand that you can drink neat and relax. It's definitely a cigar beer. I mean, cigar bourbon right here. Just enjoy it, neat as hell, and just sitting outside.
Neat as hell. I drink everything neat as hell.
Neat as hell.
Yeah. But yeah, I feel you. Okay.
But what'd you say, bro?
I like it, man. Like, I'm gonna give it a solid 2.5. You know, Black Power. Actually, I'm gonna bump it up. I'm gonna give it a solid 3 Black Power Fists. You know what I mean? Like, I thought it was pretty deep. I mean, for like a blind choice, you know what I mean? We was kind of like,
Something we never heard of. Something very local.
Yeah, like extremely local. You know what I mean? So for sure, yeah, it was good.
Yeah, I like it. I like it as well. I think, I'm probably at a 3 with it too. 3.5 is getting too close to 4, and I'm not ready to do that yet. Just only because of the ones we had this season. Like if it wasn't for some of the ones we had this season, I probably would have gave it more. But definitely 3. And I think what's unique about it though is that even though it is sweet, it does have a little bite to it. So I know that
a little bit. I mean, it's 100 proof,
right?
You know, so yeah,
that's definitely what it is. It's 100 proof.
It's 100 proof.
Because there's a lot of sweeter ones that are almost too smooth. You know what I'm saying? So like it's sweet and then it's like that's it. It's sweet and that's how it's going down. Like that's how it finished.
It's like that Crown Apple Royal. That's too sweet.
See, that's too
sweet. Drink that like it's water.
But you can't talk about those in front of.
That's like shit like old boy over here drink. Yeah.
He said, "Oh boy, not old boy." Bitch. No, so hey, I don't like the apple one, but I do like Crown Vanilla. I do. The shit is all right. It's not.
If I'm gonna drink a flavored liquor,
the apple is sweeter than the vanilla.
If I'm gonna drink a flavored liquor, the Crown Vanilla is
decent.
Bad, but on the high end of bad.
The high end of bad.
Okay.
It's bad plus. It's bad plus.
It's bad plus. It's like getting a C-. So you know, you don't got to take the class over, but like you glad that shit done. You know what I mean? So it's like getting a C-.
That's a hell of a fucking analysis.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
But yeah, so 3 for me too. So 3 our way, 3.5 from Ryan. And that's what we're getting ready to do now. We're gonna go through all 8 of the whiskeys and bourbons that we had this season, and we're gonna go ahead and give them a rank from 8 until 1. So hang out for 1 second. We're coming right back with it. Alright, so we right back at you right now. Getting ready to break down all 8 of the whiskeys and bourbons that we had this season. So, Bo, I guess we'll start with you and shit. We going from 8 to 1, obviously. So if you're not familiar with which ones we had in no specific order, we will read those off. So we had Maker's Mark 46, all right, Stave 46, Black Maple Hill, Widow Jane, the Crown XR, Joe Louis, Traverse City, Rowan's Creek, which we just had today, and Bro Brothers. So 8 to 1, though. What is it looking like for you?
All right, my number 8. It's number 8, so I ain't gonna say shit about it. Makers. Number 7, Crown. I was a little disappointed in the Crown. Like I said, it wasn't bad, but it's not. It didn't taste $130.
I think that's what it was.
And shit, you know what I mean?
That's what it was.
Yeah, but it's not bad. It's okay. But you can go buy you regular Crown for $26 and be just as pleased.
Which honestly would have been better.
Yep.
Yeah.
Number 6. I put Rowan's at number 6, which seems like it's a little low for it, but I mean, it's got to prove to me, right?
Yeah.
It's a rookie right now, so the rookie got to prove shit to me. You know what I mean?
Man,
so it's got to step the game up a little bit, okay?
Be mad if I never.
No, I ain't be no. So like I tell y'all all the time, what you like is what you like. You know what I mean? It's like I ain't mad at what you like or what you don't like.
No doubt.
Number 5 is Widow Jane. Okay. Number 4. Let me back it up. So the Widow Jane, and one thing I really do like about Widow Jane is the focus on making it with like natural ingredients. You know, like everything is like it's for real, like taken from nature and whatnot. You know what I mean? Yeah, non-GMO,
Sure.
straight up mineral water or whatever. So okay, that's what's up. Number 4, I got Joe Louis. I was kind of surprised by the Joe Louis because like I remember, you know, like at the nose, I was like, I don't know, man. I think it's gonna be strong, but I'm not really looking at the taste. But it was actually okay. Like yeah. Number 3, Black Maple Hill. I've known about Black Maple Hill for a long time. You know, obviously it's a blend. Black Maple Hill is not a place. Some dude with some money was just like, he came down to the Bourbon Trail and was like, hey, I want to make a bourbon. You know, I want this, and this, and I'm gonna mix them all together and whatnot. You know, and they kind of hooked them up and whatever, and they came up with Black Maple Hill. But it tastes good to me, you know.
I remember when we Googled it, I swore it was a place. Like I thought it was a place.
Yeah, it's not a place. You know. Number 2, a surprising number 2, because I did not see this coming out. Like I've seen it around, but I didn't think it would be like good at all. But Traverse City was pretty damn good. That Traverse City bourbon was pretty good. You know what I mean? Like I buy it on a regular basis now. You know, like I keep a regular stock of it at the crib. The number 1, for several reasons, you know.
Right, several reasons.
So my number 1 reason is because it's 3 black brothers, you know what I mean? When they own distillery and they doing big things. So like shout out to the Bro brothers, man, you know what I mean?
Literally brothers. Though.
Yeah, literally brothers, you know what I mean? And then number 2, the shit is delicious.
Right.
Like the shit was dope. Like the bro, dog. Like I asked her when we went to go buy this. I had asked her. I was like, "You guys got Bro brothers?" And she's like, "Oh no, we don't. We don't." I was like, "Damn, okay." But yeah, Bro brothers is my number 1 with a bullet. Like
For sure.
Traverse City was good, but it don't even. No, it's not even the same class as Bro brothers. Like I put it up right up there with not as high, but almost as high with Uncle Nearest.
For sure.
You know, I know Uncle Nearest isn't a bourbon, you know, but Bro brothers was on point.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, so let's move to mine. It's similar, honestly, especially at 8 and 7. So I did have those backwards from yours. So Crown is my number 8, and again, I think that sort of just piggybacking off what you said. I don't think it was the worst thing I ever had, but for the price tag, it simply just didn't make sense. From what I understand, though, is that the what's the one under the XR?
Oh, the XO, yeah.
From what I understand, the XO is better than the XR. And obviously, it's probably about $60 cheaper. So,
yeah, the XO runs about $65, I think. Yeah.
There you go. So I think maybe we should have went with that. I got excited when I seen this. I'm like, dog, we got to have it. I got it, and I was like, you know what? The packaging is way better than the taste of the liquor. So we go with that. So that's number 8. I put Maker's Mark 46 at number 7. Just to say this, if it was a regular Maker's Mark, honestly, it would have been ranked higher. But I don't like the 46. Like it didn't work for me, like for whatever reason. I don't know if it's I think in my mind I had a regular Maker's Mark in mind, and then this kind of just ruined it for me. Now this is probably where we completely different. The Black Maple Hill, I got it at number 6. I didn't really like it. It's decent. The story behind it was great, you know what I'm saying? And the fact that it's got all of these like for real non-GMO type things. Even like
that's Widow Jane.
Huh?
That's Widow Jane.
That was Widow Jane, right? So the Black Maple Hill was the one that shit from everywhere, right? I think even some shit from like San Francisco or something, something crazy
all
like
over,
that. Yeah, all over the place. I'm gonna tell you one that I hate not on here though. It was the larceny, which we lost that episode on my behalf. It was the larceny barrel proof. The larceny barrel proof in real life would have been a strong number 3 for me and shit. I ain't gonna lie to you.
And it would really brought my top 4.
Yeah, definitely would have brought the top 4. Yep. But it ain't on here. So then I got number 5. I got the Widow Jane. Widow Jane.
We had that in the same spot. Okay.
Yeah. Now Widow Jane for me is decent, but it was way better with the cigar. I don't know why that it evened it out.
Sometimes pairings matter though.
Yeah. With the cigar, it made it a 1,000 times better. By itself, though, that's why I got it at number 5. Number 4 is actually what we had today, which is Rowan's Creek. I like it, so I put that at number 4. Again, if you've been following us through the last couple of seasons, then you know that most of the things that are sweeter and a softer palate, I'm probably gonna like those better. So that's how I get down. Number 3 was Joe Louis. I like Joe Louis. It wasn't too sweet and it wasn't too strong, so it's kind of like right in the middle.
And the bottle was dope.
Yeah,
It's
the
like
bottle
how
was
the
dope.
back of it had like the sing.
Yeah, it had the sing.
The bottle was dope.
And what was dope about Joe Louis though is that he actually had a hand
in it. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like he actually had a hand in it, so that was dope. And then I learned some things about Joe Louis that I obviously didn't know beforehand. Also, what was it, like $1 out of the purchase went to
his foundation.
His foundation and shit. So that's dope as hell. Number two, the same thing. Number 2 and 1 is Traverse City at 2, Bro Brothers at 1.
So we're not that different.
No, definitely not that different.
No.
Probably just Black Maple Hill is probably the most different.
Yeah.
Traverse City. I'm gonna tell you this quick story. I was at Walmart and I'm looking at all the bourbons and whiskeys, trying to find something different. I hit up Angry Principal and I asked him about it. I was like, Traverse City, you ever heard of it? He like, dog, it's good. Like, go ahead and grab it. So I seen that one in the cherry when I was like, I don't want no cherry. Even though I do drink flavored shit, I didn't want no cherry. So whatever, dog. So I grabbed that.
Brown peach over here.
I don't drink Crown Peach, just Crown Vanilla, dog. That's it. So I grabbed the Traverse City, and I had a drink. I had it before we did it on the show, so I had a chance to try it. And when I tell you, man, this is some good shit. Like
Traverse City was good,
especially for it to be local to Michigan. So I was excited about that.
Right.
Bro Brothers, though, hands down, was the best one I had all year. And that's because again, it does have a sweeter finish. Probably a little caramel and cocoa, because like it's a nice little sweet finish.
It's not.
I mean, it's not sweet like candy. It's not sweet like candy, like because there's a difference.
It's a nice mellow finish. Nice mellow finish. You know,
you don't have to have no ice. You know, you definitely like if you put any chaser in it, you go kill it. Like because it tastes fantastic by itself. And also again, the backstory, of course, the 3 brothers from Louisville, right? Yeah, from Louisville. Had their own distillery. So this is not just their liquor. They have a distillery. Like I need you to understand the difference between that. Like they don't just have the liquor, they have an actual distillery. And we giving y'all a mad shout out to it. Hopefully we'll see y'all soon. We was down here in Louisville. I hit y'all up on the DM, so hopefully you see this episode and we can catch up with y'all another time, because we'll definitely be back to Louisville. But
I might buy a house down here for real.
Right, especially one like this.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, I like it down here, man. Yeah,
for sure. So yeah, that's me. Crown at 8, Maker's Mark at 7, Black Maple Hill at 6, Widow Jane at 5, Rowan's Creek at 4, Joe Louis at 3, Traverse City at 2, Bro Brothers at 1. Now, between the 2 seasons, still Uncle Nearest is my number 1, especially since I've had the other one. Which one did we have? Because I haven't had.
You got the 1856, you got the 1820, and then there's the 18.
Well, we had
I forget the other
already.
one. I haven't had the 1820.
You haven't had it?
No.
Okay. All right, because we had a bottle, for my birthday, and I took it home and drank it. Yeah, so that's what happened. But, because I know we had all 3, because I got, like, the bottles at home. Like, I don't know when I had them. But
no, I haven't had the 1820
you
yet.
had that?
No, I have not.
So where did I have it at?
I don't know, bro. You a grown man. I'm sure you can drink a bourbon by yourself too, right?
Obviously so. All right, so between the 2 seasons, though, it's still a 1 and 2. I still like Uncle Nearest over Bro Brothers, but if you had to put the top 1 and top 1 against each other,
Dog, it's
season
real.
1 and season 2. It's still an Uncle Nearest thing for me, and it's only because I think that it's a smooth start and smooth finish for Uncle Nearest. I think the Bro Brothers is a little more sweeter. So I think even though I like sweet shit,
mellow.
Yeah, mellow. Even though I like that kind of palate, I do still like Uncle Nearest a little bit more. So out of both seasons, definitely a good solid 1 and 2. I'm excited though, because I can't wait to see what we try next season. Don't forget, if you're watching right now on YouTube, make sure that you do hit that subscribe button so you can check us out every Wednesday, and then check out all of the past episodes at eblockradio.com. Also too, if you're watching on YouTube, hit us in the comment link below and let us know which ones you want to see for next season, because we'll be coming up pretty soon. This has been exciting, man. It's been a good season this far.
Yeah, man.
Season finale right here in Kentucky. So there's no
Corporate Cody here, baby.
Corporate Cody in the building.
Cody.
Right. Make sure, hit us up though. We want to know which ones y'all want us to do next year, or next season rather. So I'm excited about pushing into that. I think that's probably about it. Corporate Cody on the way out, or Ryan on the way out. Any final sentiments to leave the people with today?
One, first and foremost, always enjoy life. 2, love the ones around you. And be safe during this time of what's going on in the world. Like,
For sure.
but yeah,
Everything.
Yeah.
Right. COVID, racism, everything. Right. For sure. Bo, anything you got to say?
Yeah, man. Being down here in Louisville, kind of obviously brought up a couple, a couple feelings, within me, and I guess I had it up, and I must have navigated away from it, but I want to talk real quick about the whole thing with Breonna Taylor, man.
Okay.
Dog, she was asleep. She's an EMT.
Right. She one of y'all.
her boyfriend
registered gun owner.
was killed, huh?
He was a registered gun owner.
Yeah, registered gun owner. Like, they talking about they shot back because he pulled and he. What would you do if somebody who was unannounced came in your house? I would do the exact same shit he did.
That's what you purchased the gun for.
And
Sure.
those cops need to be arrested. And I don't want to refer to them as those cops anymore, So, Jonathan Mattingly, Brett Hankinson, Miles Cosgrove, that's those 3 cops. All 3 of them need to be arrested.
No doubt.
You know what I mean? They need to be held accountable for what the fuck they did. It was fucked up.
Why is that shit taking so long?
Why is it taking so long? I don't think they intend on arresting them at all.
I think that's
you know what I mean. I think that's I don't know if this shit is true, but there was some shit floating around that might have been viral about I think it was Mattingly that was hanging out on a beach in Florida with a couple bitches with him and shit. You know what I mean?
Just living his life.
Yeah, just living his life.
Yeah.
Which Breonna Taylor can't do because she was murdered. She was assassinated.
Yeah, and I definitely understand what you're saying. Like being here, you kind of like you hear it. You know what I'm saying? So you see what it is, and yeah, I agree with you on that.
Yeah. So again, Jonathan Mattingly, Brett Hankinson, Miles Cosgrove, they need to be arrested. I say.
No doubt, man. On that note, man, another great season. I'm glad to be able to end out the season in Louisville. So that was dope, man. This is my actual first time being here, so that was definitely a pleasure. I do see what you're saying, though, being here, and then seeing all the Breonna Taylor stuff here, like knowing that this is where it happened. Like when we look at it from Detroit, we look at it a little differently, because like we not there, like this is not ours.
Yeah.
But then like being here, like this is theirs. Like this is really their thing. Like there's literally billboards, shit over the freeways, over the expressway. Like they really trying to get this shit accomplished. And even like the Uber drivers talking about the protests. I mean, still going on. And
for
again,
like 51 days straight. So they still don't get it. Hey, don't let the media fool you, okay? They still protesting out down here every fucking night.
Every fucking night.
For that shit that happened with Breonna Taylor.
And again, about the Uber driver. Still a little bit something a little condescending about what he was saying about the protest.
Yeah, the Trump t-shirt on.
I let that shit go because let motherfuckers live. But I'm just saying, like he said a couple of questionable things because I was like, he was saying it's 51 days, so I was saying to him, it's like, yeah, they need to figure that shit out. I'm talking about they need to figure out getting these motherfucking police officers. He thought I was like agreeing with him, like these protesters need to start figuring it out. So I was like, nah, bro, I'm not talking about that. I had to let him know, like I'm talking about they need to figure out this police shit, not the protesters, bro. Like, but I see we was coming from 2 different places. And the funny thing about him, he wasn't trying too hard. He was actually cool.
He wasn't trying too hard.
He was actually cool.
He actually listened. I'll say that. He listened.
But I did peep.
I don't think he agreed, but he listened.
He didn't agree.
He listened.
And I peeped that, and that's cool. Like we can exist in the same in the same motherfucking place and shit. I realized that from everywhere up until that point, I kind of thought we was on the same page, and then I see we different, and that's fine. You know what I'm saying? Just get us to where we're going.
Right.
Yo, so it was a great episode today, man. Great season. Thank you for everybody hanging out. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and in the comments put down some bourbons or whiskeys that you want us to try next season. And till the next time, man, you already know what it is. Beers, bourbon, whiskey, man. Everybody loves BBW. Shout out to my man Corporate Cody for being in the building. My man Bo in the building. And of course, man, it's your boy Q representing all the way live